Hello and welcome to this special presentation of Rajya Sabha television from inside the Parliament House complex, the Question Hour. I am Vishal Dahiya and with me is my colleague Kruti Mishra, and in the next 15 minutes we'll take you through important questions which were asked by the members in the House and answered by the government. So let's begin today, Kruti.
So let's commence with the first question, and the first one that we've picked up is from Ministry of External Affairs, and this question has been asked by member Shanta Chetri, and she asks whether India has formulated its own foreign policy, and if so, the details of the achievement during the last 4 years in terms of national security, attracting investments, transfer of technology, skill development and active engagement with diaspora and relations with our neighbouring countries.
Well, there is a detailed answer given by the External Affairs Ministry to this question, which begins by saying that India's foreign policy is guided by the objectives of enhancing national security, promoting and facilitating India's economic transformation, strengthening our mutually beneficial partnerships and building influence in international forums. Now, the government continuously assesses and refines its diplomatic approach in response to evolving global challenges and opportunities which have a bearing on India's short-term and long-term interests. The ministry further says that in the last 4 years, India's proactive diplomacy and rising global stature has been reflected in its pivotal role in shaping the global agenda on an array of issues. Relations with our neighbours have been given highest priority with emphasis on greater connectivity, stronger cooperation and broader contacts. As a result of this, significant progress has been registered in our relation with neighbours. The ministry further says in its answer that our external outreach has been aligned with our developmental priorities, the objectives of attracting foreign investments, including for infrastructure development and infusion of technology and best practices for advancing India's developmental programs such as Make in India, Skill India, Digital India, Smart Cities, Swachh Bharat, Namami Gange and Amrut have been at the forefront of all high-level exchanges. The next question is also to the Ministry of External Affairs, and this one is from member E. Karim, who goes on to ask a very detailed question, saying whether it is a fact that our bilateral relations with the neighbouring countries got worse during the last 5 years. Also, the member says whether government is aware that some of our neighbouring countries which were previously dependent on India for their basic needs are depending on other countries at present, and whether our stand against some nations have resulted in deterioration of our trustworthiness for countries like Nepal and Bhutan.
The government has given a very elaborate answer, and the government goes on to say that it accords highest priority to the relations to the neighbour countries. Our engagement is focused on greater connectivity, stronger cooperation and broader contacts. High-level visits to all countries in the neighbourhood, in many cases after a gap of several years, have imparted a new energy to our ties. We have resolved many long-pending issues, extended timely assistance in times of need and distress, and expanded our development cooperation in terms of range, quality and quantum of commitments as well as pace of implementation. Overall, our approach and the sincerity of our efforts are receiving growing support from our partners in the region. The government goes on to say that India's age-old and multifaceted ties with neighbours like Nepal and Bhutan stand firmly on their own. Our relations are founded on mutual trust, goodwill and understanding, and have witnessed sustained progress in a wide range of sectors. The next question has been asked by member Shantanu Sen, and this one is to the Minister of Electronics and Information Technology. And the member asks the details of budgetary allocation and expenditure under the scheme of IT for Masses for the year 2015 to the year 2017.
Well, the concerned ministry in its answer says that IT for Masses is a program under the budget head Manpower Development Scheme of Government of India and has the objective of gender empowerment and development of SC and STs using ICT and electronics. Now, the project funded are in the area of IT training, creation of infrastructure and entrepreneurship creation. Manpower development scheme is a central sector scheme, hence funds are not allocated to the states and union territories. The ministry further says that the government has approved a scheme titled Pradhan Mantri Gramin Digital Saksharta Abhiyan to usher in digital literacy in rural India by covering 6 crore rural households, that is one person per household, by 31st of March 2019. Now, this is in line with the announcement made by Honorable Finance Minister in the Union Budget 2016-17 to ensure equitable geographic reach. Each of the 2.5 lakh Gram Panchayats are expected to register an average of 200 to 300 candidates. And in fact, just a short while back, my colleague Kruti Mishra spoke to Dr. Sen on his response to the answer given by the ministry to his question. Let's listen.
Rajya Sabha member Dr. Shantanu Sen is joining us on the question hour. Welcome to Rajya Sabha television, sir.
Thank you.
You've asked a very important question on IT for masses. Digital platform, digital technology has been the fulcrum of this government. How important do you think is this issue?
First of all, more and more awareness is needed. Secondly, see, in our country, there are many states where the literacy rate is still not that much up what is expected. So, first of all, awareness is needed. Secondly, literacy level should be improved. Thirdly, local bodies should be empowered to implement these things. You cannot do these things sitting at Delhi to the farthest corner of the country. That local authority, that local self bodies should be more empowered to get these things done, to get the job done. Then only it can be implemented.
The government has given a very elaborate answer. It has mentioned about several schemes. Where do you think more improvement is needed, or what do you think can be done more?
If you want to get into it, then you have to get that particular project implemented, and you have to percolate your message across the country throughout the 130 crores population of the country, which the government is hardly doing. So only by paperwork, no project can be succeeded.
Right, absolutely. Thank you so much for talking to us.
So, well, that was Dr. Sen who was responding to the government's response to his question. And the next one is from member Tiruchi Siva, whose question is to the Agriculture Ministry. And he asks whether it is a fact that investment in agricultural research would reduce dependency on imports and add to the export capacity of the country.
The answer given by the government is an affirmative, and the government goes on to say that India, with large and diverse agriculture, is among the world's leading producers of cereals, millets, sugar, fruits, vegetables, spices and seafood products. India is supporting 17.84% world population with merely 2.4% of land and 4.0% of water resources. Hence, continuous investment efforts towards enhancing productivity, reducing pre- and post-harvest losses, processing and value addition, development of technology and infrastructure is necessary for Indian agriculture. India has made substantial progress in agriculture by increasing production of cereals, oilseeds, sugarcane, cotton, fruits, vegetables and milk and fish over past 6 decades. Food grains production has increased to 284.83 million tons in 2017-18 from 50.8 million tons in 1950-51, an increase of almost 5.6 times. Production of other agricultural commodities also increased substantially during the period. The strong emphasis on research has contributed to a number of technology-driven solutions, including the Green Revolution, White Revolution, Blue Revolution and the Golden Revolution, which pertains to oilseeds. The increase in production is attributed to research and extension, policy support, use of inputs and public investment in infrastructure.
So, well, my colleague Kruti Mishra spoke to member Tiruchi Siva as well on his response to the answer given by the government to his question. Let's listen into that as well.
Rajya Sabha member Mr. Tiruchi Siva is joining us on the question hour. Welcome to Rajya Sabha television, sir. You asked a very pertinent question on investment in agriculture and the government has given a detailed reply. What is your take on government's response?
I think by way of diversified activities, okay, we may show that the production is more, but we may be lacking of food production. But this reply this time, of course, is somewhat encouraging and we feel that India is improving a lot or concentrating to improve the agriculture, because India is basically an agricultural country. Once you neglect that or ignore the fact that if it is not nurtured, the consequences will be very serious. We cannot be like some other country, live on market economy or by way of industry. It's only an agriculture country. Most of the people are illiterate. They are used to farming, and we cannot dispense of that. Basically, we are geographically and historically, we are an agricultural country. So I think concentrating on agriculture, improving and taking care of the farmers alone would, I think, improve the economy of the country. Absolutely. And for information, agriculture is the #1 sector which provides more employment in the country than any other sector.
Absolutely. So the answer is encouraging, and the big takeaway, of course, is golden revolution. Thank you so much, Mr. Siva, for joining us. Thank you.
So, well, Kriti, that was Tiruchi Siva. Let's move on to the next question now, and I believe next one is for the Housing and Urban Affairs Ministry.
Right. So the next question is to the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs and has been asked by a member, Murli Dharan. And he asked about the details of funds sanctioned and spent on the development of cities identified under Smart City Mission.
Well, the ministry in its answer says that a total of 5,151 projects worth 2,05,018 crore rupees have been included by the selected 100 cities in their smart city proposals. As on 30th of November 2018, 2,342 projects worth 90,929 crore have been tendered, of which 1,675 projects worth 51,866 crore are under implementation or have been completed. Now, the pace of implementation of projects has picked up significantly. There has been a 290% increase in projects tendered, 332% increase in projects grounded or completed, and 479% increase in projects completed since October 2017. The ministry also says that the central government shall give financial support to the extent of 500 crore rupees to each of the selected cities over the mission period. The next question is from member Narayan Rane, and this is again to the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, wherein he asked the ministry whether government has formulated any plan for developing and expanding metro rail.
The government goes on to say that urban transport is an integral part of urban development, but is a state subject. Planning, development and expansion of urban transport infrastructure, including metro rail projects, is done by respective states and union territory governments. Central financial assistance to metro rail projects is provided subject to the feasibility of the proposal and availability of the resources. Government of India has formulated the Metro Rail Policy 2017, which endeavours to focus on systematic planning and implementation of metro rail systems in a more comprehensive and sustainable manner. The policy aims at ascertaining and enhancing the feasibility of metro rail projects from economic, social and environmental perspective. The policy is a guide to state governments for preparing comprehensive proposals for metro rail projects. So these were the important questions and the answers given by the government.
And we'll take a short break, but on the other side of the break, our colleagues Akhilesh Suman and Arvind Singh will bring you more such questions and their answers in Prashn Kaal. Keep watching.